Under a mostly clear sky with a game time temperature of 77 degrees, we welcome you live to Putnam City Stadium. There is no place like home as 6A Division II's third-ranked Putnam City Pirates, winners of 5 straight, meet the 2-4 Grant Generals here tonight. Hello again, everyone. I'm Todd Miller. Glad to be along with you on the Pirates TV broadcast tonight as Putnam City looks to set up a big-time showdown next week in Stillwater with the Pioneers. Those are the only 2 teams remaining unblemished at 3-0 in the district after 3 weeks of league play. Putnam City, a prohibited favorite tonight to beat U.S. Grant. Stillwater playing perhaps in the marquee game of the evening. They are hosting Choctaw in what was a matchup expected to be the top 2 teams in the district. However, Putnam City has forged their place atop the standings thanks to a win last time they were on this field, 28-27. 2 weeks ago. Putnam City started the year off a 48-35 loss at Yukon. Since they have rolled west, Putnam City North, Northwest Classen, Choctaw, and last week 64-0, a game at Eisenhower that will probably be a precursor of what we'll see again here tonight. They started with a running clock with about 8 minutes to go down in Lawton, and that score could have and probably should have been worse. 64-0 was the final score. The Pirates did have 1 touchdown late, a pick-6 interception that went for a score nullified because of a penalty, or they would have put a season high or a second time this season, 70-plus points on the board. Meanwhile, U.S. Grant is 2-4. They have lost 4 straight, including 3 straight in the district. They have been bombed by Southmore 57-8, lost at Stillwater 61-6, and last week gave up 70 points at home to Piedmont in losing 70-6. Their 2 victories were outside the district, a 44-6 opening victory over Western Heights, and then in week 2, shut out Capitol Hill 14-0. The slide, though, for Grant began in week 3 when they lost to inner-city school rival Southeast, winning losing 48-6. Putnam City and U.S. Grant tonight will be the 16th meeting all-time between the Pirates and the Generals. Putnam City is 14-1. They currently have won 8 straight. There have been 7 Pirates shutouts in the series. U.S. Grant's only victory over the Pirates came in 1980 by the slimmest of margins, 29-20. Last year's game was the first time the 2 programs met on the gridiron since 2011. Putnam City won a year ago, 56-6. During the current 8-game Pirate win streak of this series, they have outscored U.S. Grant 356-31. That's an average of 44.5 points per game to 3.9 points allowed per contest. So it looks like it will be another ho-hum game tonight for Putnam City. The goals are the same. You work on yourself. You don't worry so much about the opposition. And you want to get out of here unscathed as far as the injury bug is concerned, especially with a gauntlet of 3 really good teams remaining on the schedule. Next week at Stillwater, and then Southmore and Piedmont to follow. Both of those games will be right here at Putnam City Stadium. Both teams about to make their way out on the field. We'll take a 2-minute break, and when we return, we'll get you ready for kickoff and take a look at other action around the district. This is Putnam City Pirate football on PCPirates.tv.
For those aspiring to change the world, the curious, the inspired, the healers, the innovators. What you imagine, you create. Dare to imagine the future you at Francis Tettle.
U.S. Grant has already made their way out of the field. Likewise, Putnam City about to do so from the northeast quadrant here of Putnam City Pirates Stadium. Let's take a look at the district standings. Stillwater, Putnam City, both 3-0. Choctaw, Piedmont, Southmore, 2-1. Grant, along with Northwest Classen and Lawton Eisenhower, all 0-3. Eisenhower is the only team in the district that does not have at least one win of the season. Told you about the big game, the top game of the state tonight in 6A Division II District 1. Stillwater hosting Choctaw. Elsewhere, Eisenhower tonight is at Piedmont, and Northwest Classen is at Southmore. Head coach for the Pirates is Willis Alexander. He is in his third season here at Putnam City with a record of 17-13 in 21 years as a high school head football coach. Willis Alexander is 125-104 with one title. He has coached at Mount St. Mary. He has coached recently at Putnam City West before coming here to Putnam City. His most notable stint was from 2007 to 2016 as the head coach at Douglas, where he won a state title and went 90-32. His first 2 years as a head coach in high school was from 2004 to 2006 at John Marshall. The Bears struggled, though, going 4-26. The head coach for U.S. Grant, as we see Putnam City coming onto the field at this time, is Alex Levesey. Levesey is in his 9th season at the helm of the Oklahoma City School. He's 22-60. His 22 victories are the third most among the 25 men that have been counted as a head coach in program history. Levesey played for U.S. Grant, went to UCO, graduated from UCO, came back, and he said, I want to provide stability of the coaching staff for these young men that I did not have during my time at U.S. Grant. Grant is going to kick the football away, and they will defend the goal off to our right. That is the west end with a beautiful painted sunny sky off to our right, as this is an east-west facility here in Oklahoma City. Deep return man for Putnam City will be number 13, Mitchell Taylor. Also deep to receive the kick is Jonas Stinson Powers. Those are a senior and a junior. The place kicker is Giovanni Cerda Reyes for U.S. Grant. And here we go. Grant in the red, white, and blue bottoms. Black, orange, and white uniforms tonight for Putnam City. And here we go, toe to leather. And Week 7 is underway on a Thursday night from Oklahoma City. It'll be a return for the 22 up to the 25 to the 30-yard line, 35-40. Stumbling, still on his feet to the 45, and then run down and hit hard by Dixon Michael on the stop. And the return for Putnam City was Mitchell Taylor, number 13. So 3 times this year, Putnam City has scored on the first play of the game. Can they do it for a 4th time? Last week, Taylor set him up in good starting field position at the Ike 48-yard line. It was a 48-yard pass play for the score. This time it'll be 1st and 10, and they will be at the 47-yard line with 11:51 to play here in period number 1. The starting quarterback is C.J. Turnbull. He has been brilliant in his only season after transferring from Class 2A Millwood. Now they're going to shift into an empty backfield with 3-by-2 formation. Turnbull looks over a 4-man front. No pressure at all. Throws a little wide open, and it's a touchdown. He was wide open to the 34-yard line, and he just glides in for the score. On the receiving end that time was Roderick Sloan. They initially lined him up in the backfield. He motioned left, and Grant did not pick him up, and it is a 52-yard pitch and catch for a score. So making back-to-back weeks and 4 times in 7 games, the Pirates have scored on their first snap from scrimmage. That is Sloan's first receiving touchdown of the season, and it comes 17 minutes into the first quarter. Here is Edgar Yanez for the extra point. Out of the hold of Taylor, all this at the west end, looking into a setting side. And everything is perfect, and Yanez continues to stay hot with a point after try. 11:43 to go here in the first quarter. It's 7-0 Putnam City over U.S. Grant. Again on a 53-yard Turnbull to Roderick Sloan pitch and catch. So quickly, the Pirates will get lined up to kick it away to U.S. Grant. As you might expect, there is not a large crowd here at all tonight for this, what is going to be a mismatched district football game. In fact, Putnam City's band is not even here. U.S. Grant is here. Very small smattering of Grant fans across the way, and this will be the smallest crowd of the year at home for the Pirates. So Edgar Yanez will spot the ball at the 40. He will kick it away. Already 7-0 Putnam City. Same form that we saw last week. It took less than 20 seconds for them to get the lead at Eisenhower. Here's the left to right boot, and that angles to the far side. It's going to hit and go out of bounds at the 22. So it'll be good starting field position for U.S. Grant on their first snap offensively of the evening. The quarterback for U.S. Grant wears number 1. It is Jameer Martin. So Jameer Martin will bring the offense out for the first time. The line of scrimmage will be at the 35-yard line, first down and 10. Grant will have some chances at some wins on down the stretch. They still have games with Northwest Classen and Lawton Eisenhower to be played. First and 10 for the 35-yard line. Jameer Martin gets the snap. The inside handoff goes to Michael Dixon, and he is blown up. And he's going to lose 3 yards back to the 32-yard line. The entire front interior of that defense for Putnam City was in there with a stop. So 11-19 in Canada play first quarter, 7-0 from Oklahoma City in a beautiful fall break Thursday night. Number 3 and 6A2 Putnam City on top of U.S. Grant. So it'll bring up second down and 13 with 3 receivers to the near side. Single setback as Dixon, he carried on first down. 3-man defensive front and the flag, and that is going to be a penalty against Grant. Referee is Austin Ellis out of the Oklahoma City Metro Officials Association, and he signals false start against the Generals. So on just one play, U.S. Grant has gone for their own 35 backwards to the 27-yard line, a loss of 3 on the snap, and then a 5-yard pre-snap penalty. Back to throw again as Martin. Another flag is down. They throw it out near side, and the ball is caught that time by Divine Perkins Smith, but he has nowhere to go as he's going to be wrapped up and tackled on the 27, so that goes for no gain. Willis Alexander is out of the field. They are talking to him. It's another false start against Grant. They're going to decline it, take the result of the play, no gain, bring up third down at 18 to the 27. This is a very, very good defensive team that Willis Alexander has put together. They have over 60 tackles behind the line, and they were very close to number 61 there. And that is a total through 6 games. Single setback to the left of the quarterback. Martin to throw off his back foot. The ball's intercepted to the 37-yard line. Running left to the 30-yard line, and he stumbles close to the 29. On the interception was the John Ackerson, the 3-star recruit in Kansas State commitment. And that was a pretty easy pick as Jameer Martin just threw the ball right to it. First down and 10 at the U.S. Grant 29-yard line. Offense comes back out of the field with 10:21 to play here in the opening quarter. Mitchell Taylor is wide to the far side. Second receiver deployed that way as well. It's a pistol formation with Sloan behind Turnbull. Turnbull will roll right, throws near side, dumps it off. Ball caught 25-20, bounces outside, and is down to the 15-yard line. Catch was made by Ackerson, who's wearing number 7 and also playing offense. So that'll be a gain of 15 down to the 14-yard line. First down and 10 from there for the Pirates. Game is not quite 2 minutes old, and Putnam City threatening to go up 2 scores. Sloan in a pistol formation, 2-by-2 set. Back to throw again. Turnbull looking, throwing, got it, touchdown. Good throw to Savion James on the near side boundary. And that was a perfectly thrown football by C.J. Turnbull. So James, who reached pay dirt last week against Lawton Eisenhower, a minute 53 into the ball game makes it 13-0. Putnam City. And C.J. Turnbull is already off to a good start with a pair of touchdown passes here in week number 7. Out of the hold of Taylor, it is Yanez. Everything is perfect. The extra point is on the way, and it is good. 10:07 to play first quarter. We're back after this brief break. 14-0 Putnam City on PCPirates.tv.
Anyone can deliver pizza. Only Marco's can deliver America's most loved pizza. Hot and fresh and right to your door. Every day at Marco's, get 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas for just $6.99 each. Hello to the Italian way. Hello, Primo.
Todd Miller back here with you in Oklahoma City at Putnam City Stadium. 14-0 with a minute 53 gone here in the first quarter. And Edgar Yanez, who 2 of the last 3 weeks has been very, very busy on extra point and kickoff duties against Northwest Classen and last week against Lawton Eisenhower, set to kick off the football again at the 40-yard line. Here's his left to right boot. It's to the far side. This is a better kick than the first one, and it goes out of bounds, and it avoided the return man, Divine Perkins Smith. If that would have hit him, that's where Grant would have started. Now, Yanez has misfired on 2 kickoffs, both kicking off out of bounds and giving Grant starting field position of their first 2 tries at the 35. First and 10 for U.S. Grant. Didn't mean much their first possession. They lost 3 on the first snap and then had 2 penalties, ended up throwing a 3rd down and 18 interception that Alexander returned to the 29 to set up the second score. 10:07 to play here in the opening quarter. Receiver to the near side is Devin Perkins Smith. One back set. Now to the gun is the quarterback, Martin. He's going to option to the near side and nowhere to go. And he manages to muscle out. That's Michael Dixon across the 35 up close to the 38-yard line. It's a hard-fought 3 yards when it looked like that play was going nowhere. 2nd and 7 for U.S. Grant. Last week, Lawton Eisenhower did little of nothing on the ground against this Steel Curtain Pirate defense. 9.5 minutes and the clock rolling here in the first quarter. 14-0. Number 3 Putnam City already rolling. Stacked receivers to the near side. I formation out of the pistol. It's Dixon in the backfield. They're going to option right. In trouble is Martin. Now he tries to get backwards, and he gets free of 2 defenders, a third, and now the 4th wave swallows him under. Let's see where they give him forward progress. I think they're going to spot it at the 30. So it turns out to be an 8-yard loss. And bless his heart, he was back there ducking and twisting and turning, trying to get free of 1, 2, 3 waves of Pirates, and he stayed on his feet, but the 4th wave swallowed him under. So a loss of 8 brings up 3rd down and 15. The schedule, as we told you, will get much more difficult going forward for Putnam City next week at Stillwater, the number 1 ranked team in 6A Division II. Then Southmore here and Piedmont here to close out the regular season. Michael Dixon, the single setback, offset to the left hip of Martin. He's going to option to the near side. Martin needed a block, didn't get one. Ushered out of bounds, shy of the 31-yard line. And on pursuit defensively was Deshaun Buford. And it's going to be punt time for Grant. They officially give him no gain, so it's 4th down and 15. And U.S. Grant on 2 offensive series has negative numbers against this Pirate defense tonight. Giovanni Serta Reyes, who also is their kicker, doubles as the Generals punter. He is back at the 18-yard line with 8.5 to play here in the first period. A little bit of pressure. He pooches it to the near side, gets a roll, and it's going to be picked up at the 38-yard line by James, who spun down near the 41-yard line. So now 3 starting field position drives. Putnam City has started their own 48. The U.S. Grant 29, and now they're going to start close to the 42-yard line. It will be at the 42. 8:20 to play here in the first quarter. The only drama left, really, is to see when the clock goes to a full running clock. 3 receivers to the far side. That's the wide side of the field. Roderick Sloan. Correction, that's Taylor in the backfield. They flip it out left to him. He breaks tackles. Taylor gets free of another defender, crosses midfield, and tiptoes out of bounds at the Generals' 44-yard line. Oh, Mitchell Taylor with his first catch of the night. Little swing pass, and he gets first down yardage to the U.S. Grant 44-yard line. 14 yards on the simple play. 7:51 and the clock rolling here with the first quarter. Pistol formation. Sloan is back out there as the running back. Straight drop. Now they're going to fling it out the right flat. That Sloan makes a defender miss as he cuts left, bounces outside, and gets down to the 34-yard line, and that's right at the first down stick. So in 5 offensive plays here, as the game is nearing 4.5 minutes of duration, Putnam City has yet to go to a second down. Gets to the 34-yard line, so a gain of 10. And here come the Pirates back at the Generals. Pistol formation. Back to throw. They'll throw it out left. Catch is made to the 33 and is drugged down. A nice tackle at the 30-yard line. It was a good play. The catch was made by Thomas Sloan, but the defender that drug him down was Michael Dixon. So now we'll see a second down and a long 4 from the 29-yard line. First second down play of the ball game for Putnam City. 5 minutes and 10 seconds into the contest. Already 14-0. Back to throw. Turnbull. Here comes the pressure. He eludes the pressure. Throws near side. And the ball should have been intercepted. It hit the hands of Divine Perkins Smith. He's jumping up and down and waving incomplete. He should have picked it off. The ball hit him in the hands, and it's going to bring up the first third down try of the night for Putnam City. Putnam City this year, offensively, has committed just 3 turnovers. Turnbull has thrown the only interception, and the Pirate offense has fumbled and lost 2 fumbles. Coming into this ball game, they are +8 in turnover margin. You can add 1 to that. It's now +9 after the Alexander interception to set up the second scoring drive of the night for the Pirates. Ball is going to be moved to the far side hash. There was a penalty on the play, and so it's against U.S. Grant. That's going to carry a first down. It was a 15-yard penalty. Unsportsmanlike conduct as the ball now rests at the 14-yard line. So the Pirates are in the red zone where they have been extremely good in all games this season. They struggled a little bit in the red zone here against Choctaw. That's to be expected. A little bit in week 1 against UConn, but against everybody else, they've been lights out. 1st and 10 of the 14. Motion man to the near side. Straight drop Turnbull. Plenty of time. Now he steps up. He's going to flip it over the middle. Incomplete. There was contact between the defender and Thomas Sloan, the intended receiver. No flags, and coverage was Aiden Thornburg, and it's going to bring up 2nd and 10. Pirates at the 14-yard line. Two wide right, single receiver, the slot to the far side is Mitchell Taylor. 2nd and 10 to the 14-yard line. Turnbull, a quick drop, throws it out near side. Ball caught at the 6 to the 5, breaking tackles, getting to the end zone, and he is down at the half-yard line. Sean Jones, the 3rd. Good job running after the catch, and now it's going to be 1st and goal to go, literally from the half-foot line. Pirates quickly get up there on the line of scrimmage. U.S. Grant, a chance to sub it as well. With 6:22 to play here in the first quarter, and it's a keeper, and C.J. Turnbull rushes in for the touchdown. So C.J., a big night, has thrown for 2, rushed for 1, kind of reminiscent of what we saw against Putnam City North, when he had 2 rushing touchdowns and 6 touchdown passes in the rout of district rival PC North. So in terms of plays, that was the longest scoring series for the Pirates with 6:19 to play here in the first quarter. Here's the snap back. Everything is perfect. It was a little high, but Taylor able to pull it down, and Yanez boots through the extra point. 6:19 to play in the first quarter. 21-0 Putnam City over U.S. Grant. We're back after these messages on PCPirates.tv.
From the Sonic Department of Research and Deliciousment.
They say you can't put a price on fun, but they don't know what the heck they're talking about. Fun's now $1.99 at Sonic with creamy queso wraps and more. Take that, they. The Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99.
21-0 is our score. Welcome back here to the booth, everyone. Todd Miller with you tonight for Putnam City, number 3 in 6A Division II and 2 and 4 U.S. Grant. It has been all Pirates as expected. Not quite halfway through quarter number 1, and it's already 21-0 Putnam City. And the Pirates are going to use a new place kicker, at least off the tee, after Yanez had pulled the last 2 kicks out of bounds. Sean Martinez, who's a 5'7" freshman, is going to handle the kickoff duties here. And he sends it airborne, a good kick right down the middle of the field. Returned from the 15 out to the 20. Hemmed in, tries to reverse fielding, and down he goes at the 22-yard line. He being Tavon Alexander on the return. And this will be by far and away the worst starting field position for U.S. Grant here in the first quarter. They start at the 22-yard line with 6:14 to play in quarter number 1. Next week, we will be at Stillwater for the big one between the Pioneers and the Pirates. If Stillwater knocks off Choctaw tonight, more than likely that will decide the 6A Division II District 1 championship. Single setback is Jakiri Albertha, who is out there for the first time. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 split wide right. Now they hand it off to Albertha, running right, gets across the 23, close to the 24-yard line, and then he's bent backwards. So the first carry tonight for Jakiri Albertha, that's a gain of 2, and that's the first positive yardage play for U.S. Grant in this ball game. 2nd down and 8, the ball near the 24-yard line. Clock continuing to roll with 5:42 to play here in the first quarter. It is 21-0. Devin Perkins-Smith is the lone receiver to the far side. They have an H-back to the press box side and 2 receivers this way as well. Fake handoff. Martin's going to keep it. He gets free of a defender of the 25, first down to the 30, and almost slipped another tackle. He's taken down by the hips at the 37-yard line. So the longest play is a quarterback keeper by Jameer Martin, and he was able to skirt free of a couple Pirate defenders on the way to the first down carry as he gets out a gain of 15 to the 38. 5:15 to go, first quarter. First down of the night for U.S. Grant. Their farthest penetration up to the 38-yard line. Same formation, same result. Hand off this time to Jakiri Albertha, and he is going nowhere. He's dead to right for another tackle behind the line, a -6 back to the 32-yard line. You know, you look at some of those guys on that offensive line for Putnam City defensively. First of all, most of them are very, very athletic. There's some that play that look like they're not real athletic, but they are stone walls out there with that defensive front. That primarily is what they have done the last 2 weeks, is stonewall the rushing attack of Lawton Eisenhower and here tonight against U.S. Grant. 2nd down and 16. It's been a big problem for U.S. Grant. They have been behind the chains all evening long. Pistol formation, H-back right. Now they flip with 2 receivers to the far side. Putnam City jumped and did not get back, so that's going to all but negate the loss on the previous play. Move the ball to the 37, bring up 2nd down and 11 on the first accepted penalty of the night against Putnam City. .4:19 to go, first quarter. 21-0 our score. 2 receivers wide right, 1 of the slot to the near side. Pistol formation, Martin tosses wide right, and he gets it to Michael Dixon. He has nowhere to go. They drop him for a yard loss back to the 36.5-yard line. It's 3rd down and 12 as the clock winds under 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. The Pirates, more than likely, before the Choctaw game in preparation for Northwest Classen, and now U.S. Grant wants to spend a timeout. And more than likely during practice this week before U.S. Grant, they were working on Choctaw and Stillwater. And it goes without saying, if that were the case, that more than likely the players were not made aware of that's what they're working on. So it'll be 3rd and 12. U.S. Grant, is 0 for 2 against the Pirates defense tonight on third down conversions. One of the big problems has been 3rd and 18 and 3rd and 15. And after they had picked up their first down of the night on a 15-yard Jameer Martin run to the 38, they have gone backwards. They've been helped a little bit because of an encroachment penalty against the Pirates that moved it to 2nd and 11 instead of 2nd and 16. But on the next snap on 2nd down, they lost a yard. Very small Thursday night fall break crowd here to watch the Generals and the Pirates. Told you the pregame show, the 16th all-time meeting. Putnam City has won 14 of the 15, including 8 straight. Grant's only win 29-28 back in 1980. Ball is on the far side hash from the 36. They need to get to the 48 in their own end of the field. Martin to throw. Throws a slant, and the ball is caught, but short of the first down. Devin Perkins-Smith made the catch at the 43. It's going to be a gain of 7 and bring up 4th down and 5, and the Generals are going to give it back to C.J. Turnbull and company. So the second punt for Serna Reyes about to come up. The deep return man will be Keandre Huffman, number 6 for the Pirates, wearing orange over white tonight with the traditional black helmet. So they come after the punt. They blocked it. The ball is free. It's picked up at the 23 and returned for a touchdown. Dejon Ackerson was the one that blocked the punt, and then it was picked up and returned by Nasir Nelson, some 23 yards for the score. And it is now 27-0 Putnam City. How about Dejon Ackerson having himself a game tonight? An interception to set up the second score of the night for Putnam City, and now a block punt that gives the Pirates a touchdown off special teams. Pirates one player short, now hustling onto the field is Keandre Huffman, as Yanez will boot through the extra point. And a little bit of pressure coming off the left edge, but it's good. Yanez is 4 for 4 at extra points, and with 2:57 to go in the first quarter, it's the Pirates 28, the Generals nothing. This is Putnam City football on PCPirates.tv.
From the Sonic Department of Research and Deliciousment.
Did you know your new favorite burger has hand-smashed patties made to order, hot and melty cheese, and a tangy sauce? How rude of me. Let me introduce you. Try the all-new Double Sonic Smasher and add a half-price drink in the app.
Putnam City about to kick it off again, leading 28-0 with 2:57 to play here in the first quarter. Todd Miller with you on this fall break Thursday night from Oklahoma City. Next week, we are in Stillwater. Looking forward to that trip. Stillwater and Putnam City, if the Pioneers can hold off Choctaw tonight, that will be a battle of unbeatens atop 6A Division II District 1. Eisenhower and Piedmont, Northwest Class, and Southmore, the other games in the district tonight. Again, the freshman is going to spot the ball on the tee. And he swings his leg and kicks it right down in the middle of the field. It's going to be returned for the 14-yard line. And now they run into each other. He stays on his feet as the return man is across the 25 and out near the 27-yard line. It was Tavon Alexander again that returned that kick. So 1st and 10, U.S. Grant with 2:49 to play here in the first quarter. Grant knew it was going to be a long night, but this game has not started with much promise at all. They only have one first down with under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter, and they already have a special teams score on a block punt. Back to work, Jameer Martin has their longest play from scrimmage tonight, a run of 15 for the early first down. Martin hands it off up the middle, nowhere to go. First to get in there that time was Quentin Hall. believe that was number 10. No, it was not. Ty Wallace, I believe, was out there, number 40, to make the stop. There were about 4 different defenders to greet him. He loses 3 back to the 25, so it's second down and 13 with 2:24 and counting to play here in the first quarter. U.S. Grant has beaten Western Heights, and they own a victory 14-0 over Capitol Hill. Since then, they have lost 4 straight, including all 3 handily in district play. Michael Dixon moves from the right to the left, back to the right side of the quarterback. Martin hands it off to him. He's hit, and down he goes. Well, he struggled as they swallowed him under all the way back to the 22-yard line. Loss of 3 more, and initially they had him back at the 20-yard line. Give him some credit, Michael Dixon, that is, for staying on his feet. So it is 3rd down and 16. 1:38 to play, first quarter, 28-0 our score. Dixon, with the exception of one drive where Arbertha was out there, has gone all the way tonight at tailback. He is offset to the left of Jameer Martin, the quarterback. 4-man front before they snap it. Here's flags. And somebody, I think, moved up front. They did for U.S. Grant. So now it goes back to the 17, brings up 3rd down and 21. Putnam City this year has scored 75, 56, 54, 28, and 64 in their wins. The fewest that they have scored in a game is obviously against Choctaw. The second fewest was in a loss at UConn back in week 0 when they scored 40 or make that 35 against the Millers. 3rd and 21 to the 17-yard line. Back to throw Martin. Martin's in trouble. Now eludes the sack. Rolls right on the far side. Numbers, angles, out of bounds, and he got a little bit of that back as he's going to be beyond the original marker for down marker. It's going to bring up 4th down and 8. So he was able to pick up 9, but it'll still be punt time for U.S. Grant. Clock stops as he was hit out of bounds with 57 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Let's see if they come after Serta Reyes again. Snap floats back, not much pressure. He pooches it down the middle of the field. Hits at the 47 and then takes a Putnam City bounce. And it will be down at the 44-yard line. So it's only a 15-yard punt for Serta Reyes. And for the second time here in the first half, the Pirates are going to start in the Generals into the field. 49 seconds to play in the quarter, 28-0 our score. Last time Putnam City started a drive and the Generals into the field, they needed 2 plays to go 29 yards. That was after an Alexander interception. An Ackerson interception. Now we have one of the offensive linemen belatedly coming out of the field. That's Carlos Rhodes, 6 foot, 425-pound junior. He is a large young man. And now he's going to be sent back off the field. And they're going to bring in Leander Prince. I don't know what that was about, but one of the officials sent him back to the sideline. Now they're going to shift into an empty backfield. This is the same thing they did on the first play from scrimmage, and they went 57 yards for a touchdown. Turnbull hands it off. Running room up the middle. 30, 25. Angles left to the 20, outside the numbers, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown. That's Sloan. So they did it again. They motioned Sloan out of the backfield. This time it was a running play. And he goes 44 yards for the score. The first time they did it, he was wide open on the far side boundary and hauled it in for 57 yards and a score. There is a flag back down at the 41-yard line. One of the Putnam City coaches is out talking to Austin Ellis. It's going to be against the Pirates. It's going to be their second accepted penalty of the first quarter. And it wipes off what would have been a Sloan 44-yard touchdown run. Awaiting the signal from Austin Ellis. He is talking to Coach Alexander down there. So the touchdown comes off of the board. And the lengthy discussion between the third-year Pirate head coach and the Whitecap, our referee tonight, Austin Ellis, continues. Well, it continues. Putnam City is lined up back at the 44-yard line of their own end of the field. So it was a hold, and it's going to bring up first down and 20. And Coach A still talking with Austin Ellis. So a 10-yard holding penalty wipes off the would-be 44-yard run by Roderick Sloan. Now that conversation is over. 36 seconds to play here in the first quarter. 28-0 our score. Pistol formation. They fake the reverse. Hand it to Sloan again. Sloan spins free at the 50. Dragging defenders with him. Got out of one jersey tackle. Still going. It has the first down carry to the 41-yard line of U.S. Grant. If the Pirates so choose, that could be the final play here in the first quarter. They're already up over the ball, though. Looks like they're going to try to get another play off. 10 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Empty backfield. Back to throw. Turnbull throws it out right. Caught 35-30. First down as he struck down at the 27-yard line. Catch was made by Thomas Sloan. Tackle was made by Devon Perkins-Smith. It's a gain of 14 to the 27. Another first down. And that will be indeed the final play of the first quarter. So 12 minutes are in the books, and it's been as dominant as you would expect. Putnam City ranked third of the state, leading 2-4 U.S. Grant, 28-0 at the end of one here on PCPirates.tv.
From the Sonic Department of Research and Deliciousment.
They say you can't put a price on fun, but they don't know what the heck they're talking about. Fun's now $1.99 at Sonic with creamy queso wraps and more. Take that, they. The Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99.
Anyone can deliver pizza. Only Marco's can deliver America's most loved pizza. Hot and fresh and right to your door. Every day at Marco's, get 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas for just $6.99 each. Hello to the Italian way. Hello, Primo.
Well, minutes in the books will flip in. So now Putnam City, the black, orange, and white uniforms, will attack the goal off to our left, the west end here at Putnam City Stadium. They will have it first down and 10 at the Grant 27-yard line. Putnam City has not gone to third down in this ballgame. And we're about to snap it for the first time in the second quarter. H-back right, pistol formation, hand off in the backfield with some running room. That is Herrera, and he is down to the 10-yard line. A carry of 13. It's first down and goal to go. Although the ball is just outside the one, so in theory that they could pick up the first down without scoring the touchdown. So we saw Kami Herrera out there, a 5'8", 190-pound junior, carry for the first time. 11:33 to play here in the first half, 28-0. Great way to start fall break for the Pirates and Coach Willis Alexander. Ball is on the 10.5. They'll throw a slant over the middle. It's caught inside the 5 down to the 2-yard line. On the catch was Mitchell Taylor. It'll bring up second down and a yard. 11:09 to play here in the first half. Now Trip Alexander is going to come in. Let's see if they put him in the backfield. We saw some of the big guys last week get a chance to carry for a score. It looks like the head coach's son is going to have that opportunity. He's lined up to the right of C.J. Turnbull. Alexander gets the carry, bangs his way to the goal line and in for the touchdown. Trip Alexander was not going to be denied. To the land of pay dirt he goes, and it's 34-0 Pirates. So Trip Alexander scores his first Putnam City rushing touchdown. And here is Yanez on for point number 35. This has been even more dominant than last week's first half in Lawton. Extra point of the way, and it is good. Now 35-0 Pirates with 10:50 to play here in the first half. We'll break for these messages on PCPirates.tv.
From the Sonic Department of Research and Deliciousment.
They say you can't put a price on fun, but they don't know what the heck they're talking about. Fun's now $1.99 at Sonic with creamy queso wraps and more. Take that, they. The Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99.
How about that drive from the U.S. Grant 44? They pick up 4 first downs and pay it off in 4 plays. 35-0 score. The Pirates on top of the Generals. Yanez is not kicking off after his first 2 kicks tonight went out of bounds. Instead, it is Sean Martinez, the freshman. Perkins Smith will be the deep return man. He has returned a couple tonight for U.S. Grant. Martinez looks right, looks left, now approaches from 7 yards and sends it skyward. And it will be Perkins Smith that lets the ball go through his legs. Now he has to fall on it back at the 15-yard line. So very poor starting field position for the Generals with 10:46 to play in the first half. U.S. Grant, for 4 years, played an independent schedule. They had some of their best results when they were not playing a district schedule. But I know some of the Oklahoma City schools, some of the Tulsa schools would like to not play an OSSAA football schedule, but the association has told them, you don't play football, the rest of your athletic department is not of the association either. 1st and 10 for the 15-yard line. Motion man to the far side. They're going to hand it off on a jet sweep, and that is going to go to Tavon Alexander, and he loses yardage back to the 11. So a loss of 4 on Alexander's carry. Clock winding towards 10 minutes to play here in the first half. 10:19 to be exact, 35-0 our score. The entire first half last week in Lawton for Putnam City was played to the Eagles' end of the field. That's been the only thing that has been a little bit better in this game than it was for the opposition last week. 4-man front on 2nd and 14. Quick throw out, and ball is dropped, incomplete. He was looking for Devin Perkins Smith, and he heard footsteps, so it's 3rd down and 14. I said it then, and I'm going to say it now. I don't know what the answer is, but when you look at the difference in size, you look at the difference in numbers on the sideline, a team like U.S. Grant, a team like Putnam City West, like Northwest Class, and they don't really have any business playing the Stillwaters and the Choctaws and the Putnam Cities of this world, regardless of what their average daily membership might say. 3rd and 14 to the 11. Back to throw Martin. Now he's in trouble in the end zone, and he just throws it away. That's going to be intentional grounding, unless they call it a live ball, and they are calling it a live ball, and that's a turnover. They say the ball slipped out of his hands. It looked like he was trying to throw it, and he lost the handle when it's going to be recovered at the 2-yard line. Well, if it wasn't a fumble, and it was going to be intentional grounding because he was clearly in the end zone. And he was trying to throw, and the ball just slipped out of his hands and just got past the goal line. Didn't catch the Pirate that recovered the fumble, but it's going to be 1st and goal to go now for Turnbull and company at the 2-yard line. 9:48 to play here in the first half. Turnbull, high snap, Not tips it to himself. He's in trouble, and he's going to lose back to the 10-yard line. Travion Alexander, they give him forward progress to the 8, so it's a loss of 6. Brings up second and goal to go there. Alexander was quickly back through the backfield. Into that last play for the Pirates was Nasir Nelson. He'll check out. Roderick Sloan, who has a rushing and a receiving touchdown on the board for the Pirates, is in the backfield. 9:05 to play, and the clock rolling here in quarter number 2. 35-0 our score. H-back left. Back to throw. Turnbull floats it up. Back right corner of the end zone, and the catch is made for the touchdown. What a catch by Mitchell Taylor. And he did it over the much smaller defensive back. But that ball had to be thrown perfectly, and Devin Perkins Smith is really upset that Taylor was somehow able to make the catch. He thought the coverage was pretty good. And it wasn't bad. It was just a better throw and a better catch. It's now 41-0 Putnam City. Here is Yanez for point number 42. Good snap, ball down, kick in the air, and it is 42-0 Pirates. 8:56 to play here in the first half. We're back after these messages on PCPirates.tv.
From the Sonic Department of Research and Deliciousment.
Did you know your new favorite burger has hand-smashed patties made to order, hot and melty cheese, and a tangy sauce? How rude of me. Let me introduce you. Try the all-new Double Sonic Smasher and add a half-price drink in the app.
The fewest yards total offense that the Pirates have had this year, 297 at UConn in week 0 in the loss, and 292 in a clock-running shortened game against Northwest Classen. They're well on their way to over 300 yards of total offense tonight. They lead at 42-0. And here is the right-to-left boot. And it's going to be played on the near side boundary at the 8. They fake the reverse. He's in trouble. Manages to get up to the 15, and Aiden Thornburg, on a play that was too slow to develop, is tackled at the 15, and that's where U.S. Grant will start for a second consecutive drive. Now we're going with a running clock. It starts with 8:42 to play here in the first half. I said this last week, too. Something that needs, if nothing else, to be considered is the mercy rule. 8-man football has had it forever. 45 points and the game ends. You don't play another snap past that. 8 minutes to play in this one. Out there at running back for U.S. Grant is Michael Dixon. Martin throws a screen pass. The ball is incomplete and almost intercepted off the carom. He was throwing for Tavon Alexander, and off the carom, it was almost picked up by the Pirate who was about to plant him if he made the catch. So it's second down and 10, under 7.5 minutes to play with a rolling clock now. Second and 10 at the 15-yard line for U.S. Grant. Pirates will rush 3 this time. And the fake handoff, Martin's going to keep it, and down he goes. Turn the corner at the 12, was tackled. Flag comes in. Stop was made by Evan Matoyer. And we're going to read the indication here momentarily from Austin Ellis. It is a penalty against U.S. Grant. It was a hold that's declined. So they take the play, which netted just 2 yards. It's third down and 8 at the 17-yard line. Clock begins to roll again with 6.5 minutes to play. Trips to the far side for U.S. Grant. Tied in, lined up to the near side. Single set back, Dixon. Back to throw, Martin. Running out of time, and the orange wave gets him. The pressure gets home. They get another sack back inside the 10-yard line. That'll be a loss of 7, 4th down and 15. And here comes the U.S. Grant punt team that has already given up one block punt tonight. And as they kick it away, there is a flag of the play. And this is Avante McCleary, a senior, 5'10", 153, that is the punter. Illegal shift against the Generals. That backs him up back to the 5-yard line. Brings up 4th down and 20. And boy, this is a really bad situation. McCleary is going to be 8 yards deep in the end zone of the east end. High snap, almost went over his head. Here comes the pressure. Pirates almost got to it. It's a short punt. Hits at the 23, takes a general bounce as the Pirates get out of the way. And boy, you got some big bounce on that as it rolls dead at the 42-yard line. Now flag into the end of the play. That is a 37-yard punt, and off his foot, it looked like it had no chance to go more than 15 or 20 yards. The flag came in at the end of the play, so we're going to have to read it and see whether Putnam City will start at the 42, closer or beyond that. Personal foul called against U.S. Grant and against Putnam City, so it's offsetting penalties, which is one of the dumbest rules in sports. .427 to play first half. If you're U.S. Grant, this thing cannot get over quick enough. Apparently they signaled for Grant, and then Putnam City was against the Pirates. So now Putnam City is going to start back at the 43-yard line. Still very good starting field position. Up 42-0. The clock rolling with under 4 minutes now, 3:51 to be exact to play in the first half. Sloan and Turnbull with a pistol in the backfield. Motion man to the near side. They're going to hand it off on a sweep. Cuts inside, high tackle, 49, and down goes Sean Jones the third. And quickly in there is Krishawn Rhodes to make sure there's not any extracurricular activities with Michael Dixon. 2nd and 5 at the 48-yard line. Well, next week, folks, we hope you'll tune us in because it's going to be better. Stillwater, number 1. Putnam City, number 3 in 6A Division II. Pioneer Stadium in Payne County. High snap, handoff, Sloan. Sloan cuts back inside, breaks tackles, first down 40. Down the middle of the field of the 35, and he's run down at the 33-yard line. He picks up 15 more. Roderick Sloan continues his big night. 2:56 to play here in the first quarter, or first half. 42-0 our score. Pirates have plenty of time to get the play in. They do. Play clock is just now down to 15 seconds. Game clock is at 2:39 to play here for the first half. Sloan is tied in right. Back to throw, Turnbull. Throws slant, incomplete, too high off Savion James' hands. Clock will continue to roll. It's now 2nd down and 10 Pirates at the U.S. Grant 33. It'll be interesting to see what happens when U.S. Grant faces Lawton Eisenhower and Northwest Classen. 2nd and 10, Pirates at the General 33. Roll out left, Turnbull had Sloan open, overthrew him, and it was almost caught again by Sean Jones. 3rd and 10, with 1:42 to play here in the first half. Alex Lavesi, U.S. Grant alum, 22-60 in 9 seasons. It was 22 wins, third all-time for a program that has been in existence for 73 years. Hand off to Sloan, right side, and he stumbles and is tapped down just shy of the first down at the 23-yard line. And Putnam City wants a timeout with 1:24 to play. It's going to be fourth and about half a yard after the offensive staff calls the timeout. Ball is at the 23. They need to get just inside the 23 for the first down. A reminder to bring a sack of clothes or a box of shoes and place them inside the large bin sitting inside the main gate here of PCO Stadium. When you do so, you will be given a ticket and a raffle ticket, which you will fill out with name and phone number. Every person donating, no limit or number of games, gets a ticket at the final home game of the year. At halftime, 2 names will be drawn, and the winners will each get $250 from Professional Recyclers Incorporated. Over the years, PRI has given more than $100,000 to Putnam City schools, and all donations here at PCO Stadium will directly go to the Pirates football program. So time back in with 1:24 to play here in the first half. Pirates trying to put half 100 on the visiting Generals from U.S. Grant before the break. Pistol formation, single receiver right, Taylor. 2 receivers to the near side. Sloan tight end left. Like Grant jumped, they didn't flag him. Turnbull looking over to the near side, walks up now behind the line of scrimmage. They'll snap it with under 10 seconds. CJ claps his hands. Deep handoff Sloan coming left. First down 20. Bounces out. Now cuts back inside. 15 to the 10. And dives down to the 9-yard line. That was academic snapping on fourth down. Which incidentally, on this drive, the first time Putnam City has gone to a third down here in the first half. Goal to go with the 9 after a carry of 12 yards. Deep handoff again. Sloan gets forward momentum. 5. Bullet his way to the end zone. Touchdown, Pirates. Well, Roderick Sloan has great vision. You can see it there. The clock is stopped with 49 seconds to play as Edgar Yanez is going to come out for point number 49. Boy, you feel for Northwest Classen, you feel for U.S. Grant. They're student athletes that have to endure this. It has been a tough season after a 2-0 start. Grant jumps, and here comes the flag. The extra point was good, but offsides the call. So the extra point is coming off the board, and they look like they're going to go for 2. Pirates have the offense out there on the field right now with 49 seconds to play, since the ball will go half the distance to the goal line. It'll be at about the 1.5-yard line. So they'll try to get 50 on the board. Deshaun Buford is in the backfield. He's to the right of C.J. Turnbull. Buford gets the handoff, walks in for 2, and it's 50-0 Putnam City. And there was a late hit at the end of that, and here comes all sorts of flags. Now here's what you have to be careful about. You don't want to get in a giant match and get yourself suspended, especially with a huge 1 versus 3 matchup looming next week. We're going to keep it right here to try and figure out exactly who the flag is on. I know that Buford was hit after he had crossed the goal line. And then there were about 3 or 4 more flags that came in. I don't know if it's on the same infraction or not. All the officials are huddling to the east end zone. Here is the Whitecap Austin Ellis. Dead ball, personal foul. And they have ejected a U.S. Grant player. I couldn't hear who it was, but there has been an ejection of a U.S. Grant player. So now they're going to kick off. Will the Pirates from the 40-yard line with 49 seconds to play here in the first half. For the Pirates, whatever you do, keep your mouth shut, don't retaliate. The frustration is only going to build for the Generals going forward. Sean Martinez to kick it away. He's done a pretty good job. Has put it inside the 20 every time. Last two times, as a result of some poor special teams play, Grant had started at the 15-yard line. Alex Levesque is out of the field. I think he was wanting a clarification from Austin Ellis. Give Alex a lot of credit. He wants to make this program better. He played for the Generals. He said, it isn't a dream job, but it's my dream job, and I want to make it better for those kids, those student athletes, to have a better experience than I did when he had new head coach after new head coach during his playing days. Now we're ready to go, and the ball falls off the tee. There's not much wind tonight. The wind was out of the south-southeast at sunset at about 12 miles per hour. I think it's probably died down from that point. And what had happened is, that's right, they had not marked it for the penalty. So he'll kick off from the 45-yard line. So now you just squib it and give the Generals perhaps even worse starting field position of their previous two drives. 49.2 seconds to play in the first half. It is 50-0 Putnam City. U.S. Grant has given up 50 or more now in 4 consecutive district games. End-over-end kick. Hauled in at the 3-yard line. Returned to the 10. Running wide left, and down he goes. Good special teams play. Jakiri Arbertha was the one down there to return it. And this now will mean that U.S. Grant will take over the 10-yard line. Putnam City will kick the ball to the Generals to start the second half. If I am Coach Levesque, I am falling on the football and go to the halftime locker room and circling the wagons. This has been a dreadful first half with 40 seconds to play before the break. As we said when we opened the broadcast, games like tonight, last week, 3 weeks ago against Northwest Classen, those are games that are about you and not the opponent. You work out, you go out there and you take care of business, you win your one-on-one battles, you get out of the thing unscathed from an injury standpoint. And get ready for the Stillwater Pioneers, which I'm certain have been of the minds of this coaching staff headed by Willis Alexander this past week. Kids are smart. They know what they see on film, and they knew that they were a much, much better football team than U.S. Grant coming in. Martin out of the gun. Now they're going to hand it off. That is to Michael Dixon. And he ran right into a blitz and loses all the way back to the 7. That's -3. And now a timeout called with 31 seconds to play. I believe that was charged to Putnam City. They do not have any timeouts remaining. So it's 2nd and 13 at the 7-yard line. U.S. Grant gave up 48 in their Week 3 loss, and that started this tailspin. They've lost 4 straight, including all 3 in district, 57-8, 61-6, and 70-6. The Generals, as I told you earlier, had been a football program for 73 years. Tonight is their 708th football game. Their all-time record, 212 wins, 491 losses. Their last playoff appearance came as a 5A school back in 1998. That is the last of 7 playoff appearances for Grant in 72 previous years of football. Here we go, 2nd and 13, back at the 7-yard line, 50-0 Putnam City with half a minute to go before halftime. Pirates cannot stop it again. Martin with Dixon in the backfield, trips to the near side. Now they show a stand-up blitz. They hand it off, and Dixon is cut down at the 7. So no gain, 3rd down, and that will be the final play here in the first half. Where should be, Grant is huddling up, but there's 15 seconds to go on the game clock and 35 seconds on the play clock. And the Generals have had enough. They're headed to the locker room. At halftime from Putnam City Stadium, it's all number 3 Pirates. They lead U.S. Grant 50-0. We'll be back in about 20 minutes for the second half on PCPirates.tv.
SNU sets the standard for innovative servant leadership. Students from every discipline are exposed to leadership opportunities where they can thrive. In more than 45 majors, students experience true integration of faith and learning, rising to be leaders in their field. SNU is the place for educators to take the next step and earn a master's or doctorate in education and leadership, with over 400 ed leadership graduates serving across Oklahoma. If you're starting as a freshman or earning a master's or doctorate, SNU is the place for you.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome back here to Putnam City Stadium. We're the third-ranked team in 6A Division II. Putnam City is blowing out U.S. Grant 50-0 at halftime. Let's take you around other scores involving 6A Division II teams. First of all, in Sapulpa tonight, the Chieftains with a 15-0 lead early in the third quarter over Ponca City. The big game of the night, especially in the district, is number 1 ranked Stillwater hosting number 4 Choctaw. At halftime, Stillwater with a 21-0 lead over Choctaw. In Muskogee tonight, it's the number 6 Ruffers 42-0 over Capitol Hill. Second-ranked Sand Springs all over Putnam City West at the break, 42-0. Piedmont at halftime, blanking Lawton Eisenhower 55-0. Putnam City North hosting Bartlesville tonight. That's a 21-21 game at half. Northwest Classen down 51-0 as that game goes to the start of the third quarter at Southmore. So that gets you up to date with scores from around 6A Division II. And again, 21-0 in favor of Stillwater over Choctaw. We will see the Pioneers in Stillwater next week. Scored in the first half for the Pirates, as evident by the scoreboard, 50-0. There was a bunch of it. First play, 57-yard Turnbull pass to Roderick Sloan. It was the fourth time in 7 games that Putnam City has scored on the first play of the ball game. The extra point was good. Alexander with an interception set up a short 2-play 14-yard drive. Turnbull 14 yards to James for the touchdown. Turnbull then ran it in from a yard out. Ackerson blocked the punt. Nelson returned it some 23 yards to make it 28-0. Alexander then had a 2-yard run. Yanez the extra point. Turnbull an 8-yard pass to Taylor. Yanez the extra point. Sloan with a 9-yard run to cap the scoring. And after a penalty was called against U.S. Grant, Putnam City elected for the 2-point conversion, and Buford ran it in to make it 50-0 here as we get ready for the start of the second half. Next week, that is a 7 o'clock kickoff next Friday night at Pioneer Stadium in Stillwater. We'll be on the air with the crew starting around 6:55 next Friday night, and I've been looking forward to that game all season long. 6A2 District 1 standing. Stillwater Putnam City look like they'll go into that matchup at 4-0. Choctaw with a loss tonight would be 2-2. Piedmont and Southmore about to go to 3-1. U.S. Grant will be 0-4. Northwest Classen and Eisenhower will join them in the cellar of the conference at 0-4 after tonight's action. Very small crowd, the smallest likely of the home schedule for the Putnam City Pirates. That's to be expected with the opponent and certainly with fall break commencing around the Center State here today. Another reminder that if you bring a sack of clothes or a box of shoes and place them inside the large bin sitting inside the main gates at PCO Stadium, you will be have the opportunity to win $250 from Professional Recyclers Incorporated. When you bring a sack of clothes or a box of shoes, you'll be given a raffle ticket, which you will fill out with name and phone number. Every person donating, no limit on number of games, gets a ticket out of the final home game of the year right here at PCO Stadium. 2 winners will be drawn for $250 each in cold hard cash from Professional Recyclers Incorporated. Pirates are going to kick the football off, and again, Edgar Yanez, his first 2 kicks of the first half went out of bounds. So since then, it has been the freshman Sean Martinez handling the place kicking duties. He will kick it from right to left as we view high atop the stadium, seated on the north side here of Putnam City Original Stadium. U.S. Grant about to drop their 5th straight after start of the year 2-0. Their victories 44-6 over Western Heights, 14-0 over Capitol Hill. Waiting for the signal. Martinez already has the ball on the tee at the 40, and he will get a 10-yard running approach. And here we go, second half underway. It's a line drive kick, and that's going to go out of bounds. So it'll be a penalty out to the 35-yard line for U.S. Grant. And it's hard to find fault in a game that you have dominated the way that Putnam City has. But those are things that cannot happen against better teams, and there's 3 better teams remaining on the schedule. Next week it's Stillwater, 2 weeks from tomorrow night here against Southmore, and then the finale coming up 3 weeks from now against Piedmont here at home. First and 10, Generals at the 35-yard line. We went with a rolling clock with 8.5 minutes to play in the second quarter, so expect that to continue here tonight. Michael Dixon primarily has gone all the way as the team's tailback. Jamari Martin, the quarterback, has a 15-yard run for scrimmage. That is it, basically, for the offense. Hand off to Dixon right in the middle of the line, and they collapse on him, and down he goes for no gain. U.S. Grant has only had 4 plays tonight that have gone for positive yardage, and only one of those went for more than 5 yards. Second down and 10 at the 35-yard line. And this is one of those games that you try desperately if you're Willis Alexander to get everybody in that you can, and he's got some backups out there on that defensive line. In fact, we didn't really see many of the starters after halftime last week down in Lawton. Second and 10 of the 35. Fake handoff. Martin's got it. He's got running room. A flag is down. It's coming back. Martin is shoved out of bounds in Pirate territory at the 46-yard line. But the flag came well behind the play thrown by the referee, Austin Ellis, and the umpire, Trevor Hand. And U.S. Grant's already started to come backwards. It is a hold against the Generals. So what would have been Grant's longest play from scrimmage tonight is nullified by their 5th penalty of the ball game. And the ball will go back to the 25.5-yard line. It will bring up second down and 20. Working with a rolling clock here with the second half. 10.5 minutes to play, third quarter. 2 receivers to the near side. That is Tyrese McGlynn. And now a third receiver, Divine Perkins-Smith, joins Devin Perkins-Smith. One back set. Martin, low snap, hands it off. Coming right, that's Dean. Dean, 35, out of an ankle tackle, cuts left and is banged down at the 41-yard line. A gain of 16. Now Grant finds themselves in a very manageable 3rd down and 4 situation with already 2 minutes exhausted on the third quarter clock. So 3rd down and 4, and that is the longest run of the night by a yard. It belongs to Michael Dixon. 9:45 in counting to play third quarter, 50-0 our score here in Putnam City tonight. Trips to the far side, tight end is lined up with his hand on the turf to the near side. Pirates jump but got back. Here's the snap. Hand off straight ahead, Dixon, and he is punched down after he got 3 of the 4. Submarines to the 44-yard line. It's 4th down and a yard. Let's see if the head coach of U.S. Grant, Alex Levesey, will elect to keep the offense out there on the field. I think you do. You have nothing to lose at this point with 9:19 to play in the third quarter. Line of scrimmage is at their 44-yard line. Grant needs to get to the 45-yard line. So they're moving right, as you can see on your screen, into that big PC logo in the middle of the field. Dean in the backfield with Jameer Martin. Trips to the far side. Handoff goes to Dixon again, and he has the first down. And he took the defender with him for a 2-yard gain. And that defender was Jordan Billingsley, who had him by the hips but couldn't quite get him down. That's a gain of 4 to the 48. First down and 10, number 2 for Grant tonight. Next week, U.S. Grant plays at Choctaw. And it looks like the Yellow Jackets are going to be angry, down 21-0 at Stillwater in the third quarter. They finish at home against Northwest Classen and in Lawton against Eisenhower. First and 10 of the 48, another low snap, handoff. This time it goes to Jakiri Arbertha, and he is tackled for no gain. Gave him forward progress to the 48. Oh, it's second down and 10, already 4 minutes into the third quarter. It's amazing how quickly these games go when the clock rolls all the time. 3 receivers to the far side. McGlynn, Perkins-Smith, and I believe Divine Perkins-Smith. They swing it out in the left flat. Ball is caught and nowhere to go. He dropped the ball as he was about to be buried at the 40 at the original line of scrimmage. Tavon Alexander was the intended target. So it's third down and 10. 7:17 to play. Rolling clock here in the third quarter. A lot of backups out there on that defensive line of scrimmage. This is the way good programs build depth. You're able to play your reserves in a lot of games. 3rd down and 10 for the 48. Martin claps his hands it off to Dixon. This time they have that play diagnosed, and Dixon is going to lose back to the 46-yard line. Well, he was able to squirt free for 4 on a 4th and a yard earlier in this drive. This time the young Pirate defense says you're not going anywhere as he loses 1.5 yards, and it's going to bring up 4th and long in a punt situation now for U.S. Grant with 6.5 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. Let's see who the punter is. I believe it's McCleary again. They have changed punters after Serta Reyes had a punt block that was returned for a touchdown in the first half. Snap back, it floats back, and they blocked it again. The ball is rolling free on the turf. It's going to be scooped up inside the 30-yard line and returned to the 24. They got through again on a high snap and were able to block it. And now to be a short porch to work with for the backup offense as they will start at the 24-yard line. It's pretty easy to get pressure up the middle because those snaps literally just float back. New quarterback out there is Bryson Vanover, number 17. They split backs to each side of him. Just outside the Grant red zone. A high snap off Vanover's fingers, and he's going to have to dive back on it for a loss to the 42. U.S. Grant jumping around like they initially thought they had the football. And tell you what, the Putnam City coaching staff is upset with that snap coming back from center. That is a loss of 18 back to the 42-yard line. It's 2nd down and 28. And that all was because of the bad snap coming back from the center. That's Ty Winkleman, who is a sophomore, all 5'7", 260 pounds of him. Bryson Vanover out of the gun, splits the backs, hands it off left. In trouble, he bounces off contact. That's Herrera. Now he's got some running room. 35 down to the 33-yard line. He picks up 9, and he was hit hard and should have been dropped for a big loss in the backfield. As shooting through that time was Ochoa Whitebird. 3rd down and 17 at the 33-yard line of U.S. Grant. Split backs to each side of Vanover, 1-by-2 formation, and now encroachment coming up against Grant. They just fired off prematurely to the left side. It was Dakari Jackson, who's a freshman out there at the down line spot, that came across. So now it makes it much more manageable. 4th down and 12 in the line of scrimmage to the Generals' 28-yard line. Vanover has Kami Herrera in a pistol formation. 3 receivers right. Vanover throws a slant of a middle receiver wide open, makes a cut left, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown, Pirates. Vanover on a quick strike slant gets it into the hands of Marcico Pettis. Marcico Pettis with the catch and score. From 28 yards, it's 56-0 now, Putnam City. I'm in a totally different part of the metro area, Midwest City. Low snap. Kick is on the way, and it hit the upright, but there's a flag down before the kick. We saw this earlier in the first half. Grant was offsides, and then that resulted in a 2-point try. This time they were offsides again. Putnam City will decline it, and that means that Edgar Yanez, who hit the upright, is going to have a chance now for point number 57. It's a redo. Snap back, everything's perfect, and a flag is down again. That time the ball was blocked, and I think they were offsides again. I think Coach Alexander says enough is enough. We're putting the offense back out there. We're accepting this penalty. The ball will go to the 1.5-yard line. Well, he's tried to kick it twice, and both times U.S. Grant has been offsides. They declined the first. They accept the second. Now they're going to bring the offense back out there. Pettis is in the backfield along with Herrera. Pettis gets the handoff, and he will not get there. They're going to cut him down at the 2-yard line. So the try for 2 fails, and it is now 56-0. Let's take a quick break. We're back after this on PCPirates.tv.
From the Sonic Department of Research and Deliciousment.
Did you know your new favorite burger has hand-smashed patties made to order, hot and melty cheese, and a tangy sauce? How rude of me. Let me introduce you. Try the all-new Double Sonic Smasher and add a half-price drink in the app.
That was a short 3-play drive going 20, make that 42 yards after a bad snap. Put them back at the 42-yard line of U.S. Grant, but they go 3 plays. Pettis with a 28-yard catch and run for the touchdown. Turnbull has thrown a couple of touchdown passes. Now his backup Bryson Vanover, a junior, has done the same. And once more, Sean Martinez will kick the football away. Pirates will win their 6th in a row after a disappointing opening night loss, 48-35 at UConn. Interesting score out of 6A1 Edmond Memorial tonight, leading on the road at Owasso. That game is just underway in the 3rd period. Here is Martinez kicked from right to left. It angles to the near side, it hits, and it goes out of bounds again. So each kicker tonight, Yanez and Martinez, have kicked the ball out of bounds. First and 10, Grant at the 35-yard line with 3:34 to play here in the 3rd period. Now the scores first with Squirtle. Download the app and you will know when and where your favorite teams and other district opponents are playing and how they're doing. From the 35-yard line with 3.5 minutes to play, 3rd quarter, 56-0 our score. I'm Todd Miller. We're glad to be with you tonight. 3 receivers to the far side of the field. Martin has gone all the way at quarterback. Michael Dixon flips from his left to right hip. Now he's adjusted his headgear. 4-man defensive front. They also stand 2 on the outside. Up, hand off to Dixon, and he's punched down. Lost a yard to the 34. They just collapsed in the left side of that offensive line for the Generals, and they being Putnam City, dominated the line of scrimmage tonight. 2nd and 11 of the 34-yard line. Putnam City North, Bartlesville, early second half. Just down the street from here, 21-21. 4 minutes to play, 3rd quarter, still 21-0 Stillwater over number 4 Choctaw. From the 34-yard line, snap back to throw Martin. Throws a little screen out, right flat, and breaking 1 tackle, getting to the 33-yard line. It's still going up across the 35 to the 37-yard line. No, he did go down to the 34. Looked like he squirted out. I think he did, but they said he was down to the 34. I believe that was Tavon Alexander on the catch. He picks up -1 to the 33-yard line. So here we go, another 3rd and long for U.S. Grant. 2:02 to play, 3rd quarter. 56-0 our score. Snap back, that was an awkward play as part of the line fired off, the other did not. Another false start. Pre-snap penalty for U.S. Grant. Folks, we appreciate you tuning in on a weekly basis to our broadcasts here on PCPirates.tv. The numbers have been outstanding. Had over 1,000 last week in Lawton. We also like to see bodies in the seats cheering on what is a team that is very capable of winning a state championship. First time since the 70s if it happens for Putnam City this year. 3rd and 17 to the 28, but a lot of football between now and December. Martin with Dixon in the backfield. Straight drop inside the 10. Throws over the middle. The ball caught. Good adjustment that time as it was Tavon Alexander at midfield. He's all the way down to the 41-yard line in Putnam City territory. He made a terrific adjustment. However, back at the other end of the field, there is an injured lineman for the Generals down. He is laying on his side. The trainer racing out. The head coach, Alex Levessi, is out there as well. The play stands for 31 yards. Down to the 41-yard line goes U.S. Grant, the first time they have snapped or will have snapped a ball in Putnam City's end of the field tonight. And the big offensive lineman rolled over on his back. Clock stops with 59 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Turnovers have been a difference tonight, and it has been a difference all season long. Putnam City now has gained 13 turnovers, and they're plus 10 in turnover margin. 6.5 weeks into the 2025 football season. Willis Alexander was brought in from fellow district school Putnam City West after a 3-7 season with the Patriots back in 2022, and his goal was to return this program to its winning ways. They had fallen on some hard times here in Oklahoma City / War Acres. An offensive. Martin claps his hands, drops to the 41, guns it over the middle, and the ball incomplete. Nearly a great leaping reception by Trayvon Alexander at the 10. When he took a shot, you could see him holding his left side or left hip, and he's likely going to have to come out of the ball game. Dixon is going to come out of the ball game. Jakiri Arbertha is going to come in as the running back. And now we see Alexander on his knees on the far side crawling off the field. Like the call, though, by U.S. Grant. You get a free play, essentially, with the offside penalty. 2nd and 2. Now it's 3rd and 2, and you nearly hit him for a big play down the middle. 11:15 to play in the ball game. 56-0 Putnam City. 2 receivers to the short side, 1 receiver to the far side. That is Devine Perkins-Smith. They hand it off. Right side, Arbertha in trouble, and they drag him down for a loss back to the 35-yard line. So instead of 4th and short, it's now 4th and 4. And a good play that time by the Pirate defense with 10:40 to play. So this drive has really summed up the night and really the season for U.S. Grant. 1 step forward, about 10 back. Got a big play through the passing game to Alexander, who's left injured, and now they are at the 35-yard line facing 4th and 4, and it may be worse. There's a flag thrown to the far side. False start against the Generals. That will just drive a coach nuts. Pre-snap penalties, and there has been a ton of them tonight for U.S. Grant. Instead of 3rd and 2 at the 33 and 4th and 2 there, it's now 4th and 9 at the Pirate 40-yard line. Martin will drop to the 48, rolling right for the 49, throws off his back foot, and has a receiver wide open to the 29 that's caught for a first down. It looked like a dying duck, but Tyrese McClin was wide open and had the time to wait for it. And he was tackled after 2 more yards on the ground, but not before a first down catch and run, a conversion on 4th and long. There is a flag down, ineligible receiver downfield. So instead of being a 4th down conversion, they'll get 4th down over. The line of scrimmage will be back at the 45-yard line, and it's 4th and 16. Pirates going with a young defense. 2nd and 3rd teamers here with the second half. Clock begins to roll again with 9:48 to play. 56-0 is our score. 1 back set. Martin on 4th down and 16. Drops back into his own end of the field. He's going to run. 40, angles right out of bounds, well short of the first down to the 38-yard line. So he scrambles for 8 as officially they spot him out of bounds at the 37, and U.S. Grant, because of their own self-inflicted mistakes, turns it over on downs. Number 2, Jinx leading to Deer Creek tonight, 35-14 here in the metro area. Edmond North trailing Mustang on the road tonight, halftime 37-13 Broncos. First down and 10, Putnam City at their own 37-yard line with 9:01 to play in the ball game. The clock as they line up at the line of scrimmage begins to roll. Let's see if it's Vanover that remains out there as the quarterback. Motion man right to left of the formation. They hand it off at a short side sweep. Not much doing for Camarian Law as he will get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe 2. Stop just shy of the 40, so it's second down and long upcoming. And we are under 8.5 minutes to play in the ball game. So U.S. Grant will be prohibited underdogs against Choctaw next week, and then winnable games against Northwest Classen and Eisenhower to finish the regular season. Second and 8 to the 39. Handoff, running to the near side and looking for some room, and he's punched out of bounds hard. That is Nagugi, who had a touchdown run last week. He gains nothing, so it's third down and long. Clock reading 7:45 to play here from Putnam City Stadium. Now the officials want a stoppage of play. Dead ball, personal foul. That's against the Generals, and that's going to give Putnam City a first down. That was because Nagugi was knocked hard out of bounds. So 15 yards will put the ball into Grant's end of the field at the 46-yard line. They just continue to self-destruct here in this fourth quarter. Clock will begin to roll, and we'll be approaching 7.5 minutes from Putnam City Original Stadium. Vanover in their quarterback, hands it off. Nagugi again stretched out, and they drag him down for a loss back to the 47-yard line. It's a good play that time by the Generals' defense. Second down and 11. Airliner to play, 7:27 from Oklahoma City. 56-0 Putnam City our score. We'll have an abbreviated postgame show. We'll check 6A2 scores on the wrap-up. Pistol formation, tight end lined up left. Another handoff to Nagugi. Gets free of a jersey tackle. Coming right. Angles to the near side. First down. Stayed in bounds. Took a hit as he spins down to the 31-yard line. A 16-yard run for Michael. And a first down. And now we get a stoppage of play with 7 minutes to play. So Putnam City trying to go over 60 points for what would be the second straight week and the third time in 7 games this year. Leading 56-0 to the 7-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Bartlesville has taken a 28-21 lead at Putnam City North tonight. That game is going on just down the expressway from here. And now they're starting to retreat backwards. And an infraction has been called on the Pirates. It is a first down. It's marked off from the 36, so the line of scrimmage is back at the 46-yard line. First down and 10 from there. Vanover out of the pistol, hands it off to Kuki, coming right again with running room 35, and he bangs his way out of bounds and was almost hit late again by Divine Perkins-Smith. The carry will gain 12 yards and bring up a new set of downs for the Pirates, who are already at the line of scrimmage. Ready to snap it on first down and 10. 6:26 to play in the ball game. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Tight into the near side. Vanover to throw. Over the middle has a receiver, 25, dragging the defender with him, and is finally down at the 23-yard line. Catch made by Law. Took the defender with him for a free ride. First and 10 at the 23-yard line. Vanover's thrown the ball pretty well on some slants over the middle. 6 minutes to play. He'll hand it off, and before he does, we get a stoppage of play and a false start against Putnam City. So first and 15 back at the Generals' 28-yard line. From the middle part of the third quarter on, it has become a flag penalty-marred fest. Clock begins to roll. We're at 5:50 to play. Vanover will option right. Pitches for Nakuki. Cuts inside. He is inside the 25, down to the 22. That was actually Quentin Neal on the carry, number 10. He picks up 6. Second down and 9 upcoming with 5.5 to play. Kami Herrera, who is the second-team running back for this Pirates team, is back out there. Second down and 9 at the U.S. Grant 22-yard line. 5:14 to play in the ball game. Vanover behind the line, now backs up. He'll operate in a pistol formation. 2-by-1 set. Hands it off short side. That's Herrera. Oh, and a good open field tackle. Dump trucks him down. Michael Dixon gets him at the 20-yard line. Looked like it was going to go for more. It probably would had Dixon not made that tackle. Instead, it goes for 3 third and 6 from the 20. .445 to play in the football game. Pirates, for the 4th time in 7 games, struck gold on the first play from scrimmage, and they've never been threatened. Less than 2 minutes in, Putnam City led 14-0. The Generals just jumped again. Another pre-snap penalty for U.S. Grant. And now it's 3rd and a yard. The ball clearly inside the Grant red zone at the 15. Third down, we'll call it a yard and a half. The line of scrimmage at the U.S. Grant 15-yard line. Clock rolling with 4:23 to play in the ball game. They keep it on the ground. They hand it off left, in trouble, and he is going to lose. Chad Perkins, a freshman running back, had the General defense right in his grill from the time he got the handoff from Vanover. He'll lose 2, and it's going to be 4th down and a long 3. Line of scrimmage at the 17-yard line. Clock has stopped momentarily. Now they reset, or they start to move it. 4:05 to play. Nagugi in the backfield. He's done most of the big play work on the ground of this drive. Vanover changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Snaps it with 8 seconds on the play clock. Hands it off to Michael, coming right. He's drugged down for a loss all the way back to the 22-yard line. On one of the best plays of the night by the General defense, Lucio Saldarina was the one that got him. And now let's see about a field goal attempt here. He loses 5. It's 4th down and 8. Oh, that was a 4th down play. I'm sorry. So they turned it over on downs. That was one behind on my play sheet. First down and 10, U.S. Grant at the 21-yard line. 3:09 to play in the ball game. Jamari Martin, the quarterback. He'll drop all the way back to the 10. Here comes the protection, and the pressure gets home. The ball came out, but they say he was down at the 15-yard line. One of the Grant offensive linemen were able to fall on it. I believe that was Saldarina who made the defensive play on the last snap. They would have recovered that fumble. He's a little bit gimpy out there. He's the left tackle. So a loss of 6, second down and 16 at the 15-yard line. U.S. Grant is going to drop to 0-4 in district play, 2-5 of the season. We are 2:19 for this game going to final. 2 split short left, 1 wide right, pistol formation. Martin at the 10 before he snaps at a flag thrown to the near side. We're looking at U.S. Grant. False start against the Generals. I don't know when the last time, if I've ever sat through a game that one team had so many pre-snap penalties as Grant has had tonight. This drive started back at the 21. It's now back at the 10. Second and 21. With a minute 51 to play in the ball game, they'll toss it wide right. That is Arbetha trying to throw downfield. He's covered up and he's sacked back at the 5-yard line. So it's third down and 26. 95 seconds to play in the ball game. This is going to be the 9th shutout. Make that the 8th shutout among the 16 meetings between Putnam City and U.S. Grant. During their current 8-game win streak entering tonight, the Pirates had outscored the Generals 356-31. 71 seconds to play on third down and 26 at the 5. Martin drops into the end zone, running right. He's in trouble, just throws off of his back foot, and the ball is intercepted. A diving interception across the way, and I believe it was Spigter. It was Devin Spigter that intercepts the ball, and a great effort as he saw that ball headed for the ground as it was just thrown up by Martin. And he was able to get his hands underneath it as he dove and gets the pick at the 16-yard line. I would not be surprised at all if they're going to have to snap it one more time. There's a difference of about 5 seconds on the play clock and the game clock. And they may just let it expire. That looks like what they're going to do. So the final score tonight will be Putnam City 56, U.S. Grant 6. Or make that 56-0. 56-0, the final score. We'll be back, and we'll wrap it up right after this. Welcome back here to the booth. Todd Miller, the PCPirates.tv crew, and it's final tonight. Putnam City 56, U.S. Grant 0. Let's update that big game going on in Stillwater. It was 21-0 Stillwater. Early in the third, it's now 21-14 Pioneers with 9:24 to play in the ball game. Muskogee 69-0 over Capitol Hill in the fourth. Fourth quarter, Sand Springs, number 2. 49-0 over Putnam City West. Piedmont, number 5, 75-0. 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter against Lawton Eisenhower. Southmore has beaten Northwest Classen tonight 65-0. Putnam City North with a touchdown has drawn even against Bartlesville at home, 28 apiece. 4 minutes to go in the third. Sapulpa blanking Ponca City tonight 22-0. That game late in the third quarter. And again, our final score here at PCO Stadium, Putnam City 50, U.S. Grant 0. So the Pirates will head to Stillwater next week, and we'll have it for you here on PCPirates.tv. A 7 o'clock game against Stillwater. Will the Pioneers remain unbeaten? Will they remain the number 1 team in 6A Division II? They need to hold off Choctaw. That game again in the fourth quarter. Choctaw is drawn closer at 21-14. So right now, let's take a look at the standings. For the time being, the Pirates are 4-0 in the district. Stillwater 3-0. Choctaw is 2-1. Piedmont and Southmore actually leapfrog them for the time being at 3-1. Grant, Northwest Classen, Eisenhower all 0-4 in 6A Division II District 1 play. Kickoff next week from Stillwater for the big one. Likely the de facto championship game if Stillwater wins tonight. 7 o'clock, we're on the air with a pregame show at 6:50. For our entire crew, I'm Todd Miller. Final score, final time tonight. The good guys, the Pirates of Putnam City, win at 56-0 over U.S. Grant here on PCPirates.tv.